I'm pushing through some fear to make this video. Just had an increased awareness lately, and I just kind of had the realization. I was having a lot of emotion, and I understood it was ego-based thoughts causing the flaring up of the emotions, and I just kind of had a moment of clarity about it all, and realized that up until now, I'm 32, up until now I've established my own self-worth. The way that I felt I had worth was through being smart, getting good grades, being pretty, being thin, and, being relatively athletic. And as long as I had those things, I felt like I was worthy. As long as men found me attractive, as long as teachers gave me good grades, as long as I met and or exceeded the expectations of others, I was worthy. I felt worth. And I'm realizing how hollow and shallow and illusory those definitions of worth are. And it's making me very emotional, because I do want to know my worth in the eyes of my Creator, because that is the only definition of worth that will not fade. Your looks will go. You will gain weight. You will all of a sudden not be the smartest person in the room. And you will realize that if you want to have worth forever, eternally, it has to be based on something eternal. And I am mourning, I guess, in a sense, the loss of my previous definitions of worth, because I'm no longer the smartest person I think, I'm not in a job. I'm an assistant. I'm not a doctor or a lawyer. I'm no longer the prettiest girl. I'm aging. I'm trying desperately to keep up with the standards of beauty, and I cannot. I'm gaining weight. And these are good things, only in that they remind me that my worth is not based on those things. And I so am reaching out to the Holy Spirit for help forgiving my false illusions about myself. And so I've just lately so repeatedly forgiven the fact that my body has gained weight. When I say forgive, I go through the forgiveness process of recognizing that I'm projecting guilt onto my body. It's unconscious guilt for believing I have separated from my Creator. So I know it's not real guilt, and I know it's not in the thing I'm projecting it onto. The guilt is not in my body, it's in my mind. And I forgive my mind and the object onto which I project that guilt, in this case my body. I forgive them both for what is not real. And I join with the Holy Spirit in peace, knowing that He will heal the underlying unconscious causes of guilt, as I just forgive the ones in front of my face that I can see. And so I do that over and over and over again lately. I do it with everything, but lately it's been with my physical appearance and the lack of professional success in my life. And I just broke down in the shower because I'm calling out to my Creator that I may know my worth in my Creator's eyes. And I was just given the idea that maybe putting myself out there without the measures of my worth, so without my makeup, without the filters, without the facade, might help me move through my dependency on these definitions of worth, that I may let them go fully, and I'm ready and willing to let them go fully. I'm willing. I offer my willingness that I may see this differently. And I'm ready to be free of it. So, and there's other definitions of worth creeping in, because like it can happen even in the spiritual realm. Like you think, oh, you're spiritual, so you're free from the ego traps. But, you know, I was defining myself as worthy because I was relatively young in a spiritual circle of older people. So, oh, I'm on the fast track, right? That's not a valid definition of worth. You know, my ego wants to tell me, or my ego thinking, not that the ego is an identity, but it's a thought. It's a thought process. It's a thought system. And the ego thought system tells you, oh, you're not measuring up to to the potential that you had as a young person. You run into people you used to know when you were younger, and you don't measure up to them. You're not as good looking. You're not as smart or physically or professionally successful. You're not in physical shape. And those are not real definitions of worth. I know that. So this is, I guess, sort of just like a video diary. And, you know, you can be beautiful. You can be professionally successful. This is not a judgment on you or your chosen path. This is just a reflection on me. Everyone has their own path, and I do not judge the path you take. I just felt called to be vulnerable and show my true self. Not that this body is my true self, but the defenses that I've used my whole life in this body to protect from any feelings of rejection or worthlessness. I'm ready to let them go. So thank you for bearing witness to my journey, and thank you.